there is some deer over there in the field. I'm just on my way right now to the spot. It'll be the same spot that we've been going to for the past couple times already. But this is the first time we've seen deer. Fortunately, we're not at the spot yet. But that's a good sign regardless. We're doing a fawn. Another fawn right there. We got mama deer right there. But you know what, guys? I'm going to take that as a pretty good sign.
When referring to ourselves, we humans ascribe the term rut to a monotonous routine that we're stuck in. But when we're talking about deer, the term rut is typically applied to that magical time when even the wiliest whitetails drop their guard and start to wander around during daylight hours. But this isn't the rut, or the pre-rut. We're still in the early season. While the rut is exciting, it's also very random. To the contrary, whitetails are at their most routine and most patternable very early in the hunting season. Studies have shown deer move increasingly less during daylight and more in thicker cover as hunting pressure increases. Like the savvy fisherman who wants to be first in the water, to be the first to cast a fly into a particular pool, you want to be the first in a particular patch of woods. For several reasons, early season hunting tends to be more relaxed as well. Deer season is a marathon, not a sprint, so you want to pace yourself and work up to speed slowly. Early success also brings certain benefits. With a deer or two in the freezer, and potentially at the taxidermist, the pressure is off so you can relax and get more enjoyment out of the weeks and months of deer hunting still to come. I'm hunting with my buddy Peter, and we're going to be headed out to a small patch of public land that we've previously scouted and marked out some good potential stand locations in. We'll be hunting from the ground, using only the bush and natural surroundings as our blinds. But before we get out there, it's always a great idea to take a few practice shots to make sure that you're dialed in and ready for when that moment does come. You know what these mean, right? Archery season, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Archery season.
Let's go.
Hunter's best friend. Sent away. Even though it's early, still want to be quiet.
First spot. We'll I'm gonna check the camera first and see if there's any that have gone through that trail there. And if there is, we're gonna stand out at this watering hole here. Hopefully we see some stuff on the camera here on the trail cam, and we'll sit it out at this watering hole. Looks pretty good. There's a lot of trails that you can see that come through. And you've got the watering hole basically right behind us. I don't know if we should stay on top of this hill. Yeah, I wasn't. Or maybe like down lower. Underneath some cover over there, like in the bush and the trees and stuff. Yeah.
Let's say there's that girl right there. I'd say 10 yards from the camera.
10 yards from the camera, nice. Any nice bucks?
No bucks on it.
That's alright. I'm okay with taking a doe.
This one should get you a little excited. See if you can count how many are in that one.
Oh yeah, 3.
Yes. Right there.
Well, I don't have to go for a buck. The plan for me today is, if it's a deer, it's going down. I'm in it for the meat. I don't need no antlers. You can't eat the antlers. The plan is to catch the deer coming from their feeding area and watering hole in and around the fields to our east, back to the thicker bush cover where they would probably be bedding later on. So we move
to get set up in a funnel area with a pinch point and a small clearing that we think, based on the game trails that we've seen, that they would pass through.
Our setup right here. We've got burlap just across here. We're sitting as low as we can to the ground. We're covered by this burlap. Nice thing is you can kind of see through the burlap, so you can see when they come through, and then set up your shot, pop up real quick, and then pop. But yeah, now it's just a waiting game, and just wait for something to come through, man. Like I said. Doesn't have to be a bug for me, man. First deer that comes through there that we get a shot at. Yeah, he's going now. Oh man, it's meat in the freezer. That's all I'm here for, baby. I need more deer meat right now, so you can't eat the antlers. Doesn't have to be a bug. But here's our setup. Got my PSE Stinger Max right here. Got it set to 60 pounds right now. I just actually got it retuned up to 60 pounds. I had it at 50 before. And the broadhead I'm using is a QAD broadhead. Forgot what the name of it, but it's a QAD. But QAD is the brand. I forgot the name. Exodus. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one.
2 hours.
Couple hours. The prime time.
Sunset's supposed to be at 7:50, something like that. And I've seen them anywhere between 6:30 and 9 o'clock early. So we've seen them before sunset, just after sunset. So we should be here early enough that we can set up, get quiet, not worry them too much. So now it's just a matter of waiting to see if anything actually shows up. We've had 3 or 4 of them on the cameras, so here's hoping. Fingers crossed.
Based on the trail cam photos, game trails, scat, and other signs, we sit this blind, figuring that at some point they should be passing through. But an hour goes by, then 2, and still no deer. Perhaps we chose the wrong day to get out.
So close.
Perhaps we were just sitting at the wrong stand today. Or maybe it's all these damn coyotes yipping and howling all around us. But in the end, the time flies by, and the only thing that we see today is this creepy but majestic looking owl.
Yeah, it probably thinks your leg's a rabbit. Good thing you noticed that. You might have. Whoa.
A few days later, we make it back out for the second sit. This time, we try a morning sit and arrive an hour before sunrise to get set up on that hill overlooking the watering hole, hoping to catch the deer as they come out from their beds first thing in the morning to grab a drink. We feel good about it, but unfortunately, the deer didn't feel the same way. Our hunt today gets cut short due to some gear issues as Peter's bowstring slips through the cams. A couple days later, we try again.
What's up, buddy? Glad you could make it.
Hopefully you can see something tonight.
Yeah, well, I seen those 2 deer on the field there. The wind is pretty strong, but it's going the right direction though. So, as I was parking here, there was like a flock of 20 grouse
Oh, really?
that just took off. Yeah, and like they're all bunkered down in like the taller grass there. Yeah, so I bet you if we don't see a deer later, if we just walk through the taller grass, man, we're gonna get some grouse. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, something's going down today, that's for sure.
Last time, we moved the trail cam to a spot we found that looked like it had some potential. There was also a 10-degree temperature drop since yesterday, and deer move around whenever there are changes in the weather, such as significant declines in temperature or wind speed. I've already seen a couple deer just on the way driving to this spot, and we're about to check the cams to see what else there might be in store for us.
Same direction. Same direction. He's just sitting on the inside. Like over there, yeah. We might have to rock, paper, scissors here. Well, that gets me excited. Finally getting a buck on my camera after 2.5 weeks of being out here. That's buck, baby. 3x3. And then we've got a bunch of those. They come in this area where we are right now to shield themselves from the weather. So, and then they're all passing through, back and forth, through that clearing over there. And there's bedding areas past that way, and probably some more out that way. But we haven't looked in that direction. But this seems like it's a spot. I think this is probably the most deer we've seen on this camera. Yeah, when we put this camera, we just moved this camera to this new spot here. The last time we were here, and that's the most deer we've seen. Well, just that one video was coming in here was more than we had on the last one altogether. Yeah, one load. So this is the spot. This is the spot. The forecast is good. The weather's good. The wind's in our favor. But we gotta make it happen today, boys. Let's go.
The day is looking good, and the trail cam has shown us the most deer we've seen on camera in this spot for the past couple weeks, with this spot showing at least 10 does, and finally our very first buck, who just seems to be nocturnal right now as he was caught on camera passing through around midnight yesterday. But you never know when you might get lucky and he slips up. We sit this blind with high hopes, but we don't get a sighting, and with 20 minutes left before sundown, I make the decision that in a few minutes, I will be living to regret.
Oh, we still haven't seen any deer yet. Oh, we've been seeing a lot of geese and a lot of grouse, so I think we might call it early at like 7:20, and then head back to the truck, grab my shotgun, walk around and see if we can get a couple grouse. At least have something to take back and make some dinner with.
As we walk to the truck to put away our gear, we take one last look back across the field from where we came from, and of course, there's deer. 3 deer that, had we sat our blind just a little bit longer, would have most likely passed through. I can regret that decision to leave all I want later, but right now, we pick the bows back up and head back to try to cut them off. Playing the wind and doing our best to stay out of sight, we get out there as fast as we can. But that decision to pack out 20 minutes early just potentially cost us our deer.
That got my heart pumping, man. I was thinking, damn, could it be like a last minute deer? It's literally down to the wire. Like, oh, look at the time of this, guys.
No, I thought they were coyotes at first because the
they chased the geese out of that field.
Oh, that's what spooked the
That's what
geese.
spooked that last
so
flock
the
of
three
geese there.
deer spooked those geese
Yeah.
earlier.
And they came in at the same spot over there by where the geese were, and I thought they were coyotes because of the way they were running. And then
Just when I was about to get those geese too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
But at least we kind of got them on film. We kind of seen some. They're in here somewhere. Like, we know that for a fact that they're in here somewhere.
Yeah, they're here somewhere. We just gotta be here at the right time, on the right day, and just be in the right spot.
Yeah, that's the.
But they're here. So, anyways, that's gonna do it for this week's episode, guys. Be sure to tune in for next week's episode. Hit that subscribe button down below and hit the bell notification icon too, so you guys can be notified when I drop next week's episode. So far, the score is what? Deer 3, us 0.
But we've been getting closer. We've been getting closer. We found them. We got a buck on camera. We got 3 or 4 of them coming through at the same time. So we're moving in on them.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer, man. All right, guys. We'll see you guys in next week's episode. Peace.